right, we're back at the TACP RoundUp. I'm here with Romero to talk about all things TACP.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, absolutely, man. Excited to be here. This is our second one that I've been a part of with the TACP Association, and man, I'm just so excited about what we're doing and what we're getting at with the TACP Association. It's been great. It's been really great.
There's a lot of things going on this week, right?
Yeah. So a couple things. So one, our annual meeting as a team was we did that yesterday. We're going to be doing that a little bit tomorrow morning. It's really defining what we're getting after, really getting the team on board of understanding what our identity is, and then really why we're here. We went through and redefined our values. We went from, remember, honor, and support to remember, honor, and thrive. And that's really what we're getting after is this proactive approach. And that's kind of one of the cool things to see kind of playing out is just really, man, just celebrating TACPs and really, honestly, Air Force Special Warfare of what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were at TACP for how long?
Let's see. In 2007. Yeah, I know, right? Do the public math. I cross-trained. So I started off in the Army National Guard.
Okay.
When I was 17, went active duty Air Force, and then I ended up doing Air Force aircrew life support with rescue for about 4 years, and crossed over into TACP in 2007. I just retired in 2022.
Nice. Congratulations.
So, yeah, brother, it's so great. Yeah, so 2023. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah, just like freshly retired.
I'm hot on your heels.
Yeah.
So you saw the PJs over the rescue side, and you were like, "No, absolutely not."
No, absolutely no, absolutely no. Actually, brother, I love what PJs do. I love the community. Being in rescue, man, I was truly blessed to be a part of that. I think for myself, having been indoctrinated or going through Army side of the house, I wanted to be a little bit more on the fighting aspect of things versus for a lot of PJs, and that's gotten a lot better. But one of the biggest challenges I saw with PJs is that they go through an immense amount of training and then just to sit and wait. Now, that got better with Pedro and some other missions and everything else like that. But in my era, from 2004 or 2003 to 2007, there was a lot of sitting around. And even, dude, I'll tell you what, I had a funny moment. And as I was coming back home, I had a PJ buddy of mine. We're hanging out in Manas.
Okay, yeah.
We're sitting there having our 2 beers a day, and we're talking, we're talking with each other. And he's like, dude, I should have gone TACP. And you remember that movie, I think it was Billy Madison, where he like literally grabs the kid by the cheeks. He's like, don't you ever say that. Because we were both ACC, but there was such a disparage in support from a TACP. I just got back from a deployment or coming home from a deployment where I bought most of my kit.
Oh, wow.
I bought we were issued Army Infantry standard issue body armor, standard issue helmets, standard issue equipment. Then I looked at one of my brothers across over there as a PJ. He's like, dude, I do all this training and just go and sit. I'm like, brother, like, there's a difference between being hungry and being fed. And like, no, appreciate what you have right now, the respect and reverence you have within the Air Force community.
Yeah.
In comparison to the TACPs, dude, I showed up to my unit and we had trailers with holes in the ground at Bragg, the premier unit, right? At least that's what I was told. And I'm like, what did I just cross-train into? This is crazy. Now it's gotten better. Like exponentially, the communities have gotten better, and I love where the direction is going. But yeah.
But I have to say, though, my bond with like my bros when I first became like a Saudi guy.
Yeah.
And we had no equipment, and we were just with the Army. Like the struggle that you go through in that time, and then still going down range and doing what you got to do.
Oh, absolutely.
And then coming back.
Oh,
like I know it wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
But like those bonds were crazy.
100%. Absolutely, man. And you know what's funny? You remember getting just 5590 batteries and going to the Army and saying, hey, man, we've got a MOA that says you're supposed to provide that. And they're like, yeah, it's a cool piece of paper, bro, but we don't have any. It's all deployed or we can't buy it.
Yeah.
And then I go to the Air Force. The Air Force is like, go talk to the Army and you tell them you need to get blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so we got very creative in acquiring batteries. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, you're like in between worlds, right? Because I was at Bragg as well. And it's
what years?
06, 07?
So I was 07 to 17.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was at the 14th. Then I went up to the group at the 18th.
Okay.
And then I went down to the 682nd for a breath of experience. That's a whole nother podcast.
But like you didn't belong to the Army, but you didn't belong to the Air Force.
No.
And so it's like you just make it happen.
We do, and that's what we're really good at, right? Like we're really good at figuring out adopting and seeing how things are done. And I think that right there is getting with the Air Force Special Warfare TAP program that we have and the stuff I've been doing with that is paramount, a soft skill that the industry needs right now.
Well, can you explain that a little bit? Because not everybody's going to know what TAP is.
Yeah,
and why we need our...
Dude, absolute great part. So Air Force Special Warfare TAP, Transition Assistance Program, the program is good. There's a lot of good people trying to do a lot of good things. However, with the selection and attrition rates that an Air Force Special Warfare operator goes through, we have just a little bit more in the tank, a little bit more skill sets, a little bit more things that translates to like an 11 Bravo or, a cook or a supply or anything. Not saying anything disparaging about them, but, when you start out with 42 individuals in class and only graduate 12, there's something to be said about the characters, traits associated with that person that's standing on that stage receiving that beret. So our TAP program was designed to really capture and really highlight that for our guys and gals that are actually done great things and really speak life into them to realize and get them to understand that a lot of the things that they have done were soft skill sets that translates into industry. I'll give you an example. We were helping out a really good friend of mine, a combat control buddy, and we had gone through a program together, and we're standing around by the fire, and he's like, dude, all I could do is say cleared hot and teach people how to shoot people in the face. And he was a sim operator. I just wanted to shake him and be like, no, dude. There's maybe a theme here. Maybe I need to talk to somebody about that. I've actually never shaken anybody or shaken anybody. But I want to say, brother, no, man, you can do so much more. And so I spoke a little bit of life here into my new friend that I had. He's now just got hired on to the Honor Foundation. I'm so excited for him doing something to speak life into other people. So what we're doing with this program is exponential. And, man, I'll share this. After World War II, a lot of veterans got together and said, okay, what are we going to do? They created different programs like USAA, started by World War II veterans that said, hey, we're going to do something after this. VAIL was started by 10th Mountain soldiers that said, hey, look, let's start an industry here in VAIL. And VAIL is incredibly expensive to go to, but it's incredibly awesome to go to, too. I've gone snowboarding there multiple times. And I said, look at our GWAT veterans. Look at our Air Force GWAT veterans, brother. We have got more opportunity. We've got more access to resources. We have more empowerment. Why are we not replicating and exceeding those things that those guys are doing or guys did before us? And so I look at that going, we need to capitalize and come together and do that. And so that's what I'm doing. That's Romero. Take the association stuff off. That's my insurgency and my passion in life right now is to get guys and gals set up within the Air Force Special Warfare community to go and exceed and excel when they take the uniform off. Because you're never going to be a civilian. Like, I'll never be a civilian. I will always be a veteran.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that mindset and that piece. Just had my 20-year reunion, and although it was great, and it was great to see a lot of friends and faces of like 20 years ago. You know who I ended up connecting and bonding with? The Marine and the soldier that I was able to talk to when we were sharing war stories together.
Yep.
So the transition aspect of things is not to sit around and be that guy sharing war stories back in the stand, but it's to get the guys to recognize their capacity of what they can do and how it translates.
Yeah, well, I think it's easy to be like, like I just did my job and like I'm not like anybody special because we all know like,
Sure.
Look around this room, right? Like it's easy to do the comparison game and be like, I'm not Tommy Case. Like, why would anybody want to listen to what I have to say?
Sure.
But like, you got the skills, like you had a ton of responsibility early on in your career. So you're a go-getter, you're a problem solver. But it's just that making that leap, I think, can be difficult.
So, one of the things I found, man, and I heard, comparing things robs you of your joy. And the moment we start comparing ourselves, and we do it naturally, right? Oh, the PJs, South T, the CTTs, TACPs. We naturally do this. In fact, I thought about creating a TACP Association ruler. You know where I'm going with that? But that idea got shot down, but that's fine. But comparison robs us of our joys. We have titans of people that have done great things. Tommy Case is my best friend. He's Uncle Tom in our house. Like with my kids, they love him and they know him as Uncle Tom. He's a brother of mine. And I say it in the most intimate, serious way. We both recognize that there is something to say about being 12 out of 42 that started.
Yeah.
There's something to say that. And what I witnessed is several guys, if I told them that, hey, you've got a mission, go plan for X, instinctively they'll do that.
Yeah.
They'll go and execute and make it happen, have different COAs, start doing other people's jobs like Intel and pulling that stuff, right? We've been there.
Yeah.
say, hey, you need to now plan for your transition out. And it's such a monumental amount that guys are literally, I've had from chiefs to senior airmen say, where do I start?
Yep.
What do I do? And so that's what we created Air Force Special Warfare TAP. It's not a recreation of another program or anything like that. It's meant to be a focal point, a quasi checklist to say, hey, little brother, hey, little sister, start here. Then go check this out. Then go do that. Then do that. And oh, by the way, here's how you inform your leadership on what you're doing. Oh, by the way, you want to go into this program? Let's start building partnerships with the industry to really go in that pace. That kind of thing.
There it is. Well, that's pretty awesome. Where can people find the TAP program?
In the TAP program?
Yeah.
So we AFSWTAP.org. Air Force Special Warfare TAP.org. No S, no hyphen, AFSWTAP.org. That's the first place to go to. We're also on LinkedIn. We've got a closed private group. So we're on LinkedIn. We're also on Facebook. We're trying to reach out different social media things. And then TACPVSpeed@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Hit me up, and I will do what I can do to help everybody out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is it about TACP that kept you around?
That what?
Why are you still here? What is it about TACP that... I think we covered a lot of it. I just want one more time.
No, absolutely. We're all given a certain amount of breaths in our life to take. And I want to make sure that if I can just speak life and help everybody out and help them find purpose and clarity and vision, then I know when I go to answer to my creator that I did everything I could to try to be there for him. I had a PJ friend of mine, the whole Air Force mentoring program.
Yeah.
What was that again? That was it wasn't My Vector, but it was essentially where you could go and find
talent marketplace.
Yeah, where you can go and find find a mentor.
Yeah.
I found a chief that was at the Pentagon. I won't name his name because I don't know if he wants to be named. He was a PJ. And I put on the criteria of who I wanted to speak life into me, and this guy popped up. Brother, the first thing he asked me is what is your mission statement, vision statement for you as a man? And I was like, to be a good airman and dad. He's like, yeah, it's bullshit. You're going to take the next 30 days, and your new assignment is to come up with your own mission and vision statement for who you are as a man, who you are as a person. Not as a dad, not as a husband, not as an airman, but just me. And I was like, oh. So I had to do a lot of self-awareness and soul-searching. And from that, I distinctively believe in my heart that an Air Force Special Warfare airman, given the right opportunities and the right coaching and the right vector, will provide a lot of solutions that this country needs. I love America. I love the Constitution. I support it 100%. And a lot of the things that we have that are distracting from our core principles, I know in my heart that an Air Force Special Warfare airman has the spine, the intestinal fortitude, and the know-it-all to be able to go and execute and make this country better. Our war is no longer against flesh and blood, buddy. It's against principalities and darkness.
Yep.
And we have the tools to be able to bring a little bit of light in this world. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's someone out there that wants to be one of the 12 or the 42 or whatever, and they're thinking about joining, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Don't quit. I know it's such an elementary answer, right? You're going to have adversity. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have problems that you're going to come into. If taking you through a physically demanding course and a mentally demanding course is too hard for you, then there's other jobs we can have you in. But we need people that don't quit, have the intestinal fortitude to continue on and drive on, and really to have that tenacity, lead with tenacity. We're not looking for the person that needs reassurance and told they're a good little boy or good little girl. We're looking for the person that says, hey, here I am, send me. I'm ready to go and fight. And I recognize that it's a different generation. It's a different things. But at the end of the day, our country was founded on that. a bunch of ragtag people that says, hey, I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up, I'm going to show up and fight. You know, of the 12 that I graduated, there's several of them on the stage that I never thought would have actually made it. So it's not about what's your physical body composition. And you know this, right?
Yeah.
The guys who are like all chiseled out, like proteined out, you put them on a mountaintop in Afghanistan for 5 days, they're going to crash because they don't have all the protein and all the other stuff. And so it starts here and it starts here. And I think that's really for the individuals. And I've done a couple TACP interviews because we do that whole interview process for guys who want to cross train.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I look for is like, show me how you're not a quitter.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to have you on my team, I can't have a quitter on my team. And I can't have somebody have to babysit either. I need you to be an adult, be mature, figure out solutions. In ambiguity and in a space that you don't have all the answers, you execute based on what intent's been given to you, and you make things happen. It's a tenacity, it's a lost art, but I know that there's guys and gals out there with it.
It is. The courage to act, right?
What's that?
The courage to act.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a Reader's Digest version. Absolutely. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Dude, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been great. Thank you guys for what you're doing with the Ones Ready. Like, just getting our word out, capturing this is huge. I foresee our communities continuing to merge. And really what my hope and my insurgency, if you will, is really us come under one banner and really make that strategic impact that we're looking at doing.
Hey, whatever gets the job done.
Dude, absolutely right? Yeah. Cool,
Thanks,
man.
brother.
Thanks, buddy.